Hi everybody, it's Gordon here today talking to you about AQA GCSE English Language, Paper 2, Question 2. You'll know this better obviously as the summary question, and no doubt your teachers have covered this nice and clearly and fully with you in the past. My job today, as far as I see it, is to give you a nice simple 5-step process for making a success of this question. Okay, 5-step approach. First step is to study the question really carefully. Now, you'll be saying to yourselves, hang on a minute, Gordon, every teacher in every subject tells me that regarding every question and every examination. But I would say to you, in this particular instance, it's absolutely vital that you do that because you're dealing here with 2 non-fiction sources that in total comprise something in the order of 3 sides of A4, and you've got to squeeze out 8 marks from those 3 sides of A4, or 90 lines of text approximately. Now that's a lot of text to get through, and realistically you can't be expected to go through that in any great detail. So the trick here, study the question and look specifically at what it wants you to do, where it's directing you. Here's an example of a question from a previous AQA paper. It goes something like this. Both sources, A and B, describe the similar ways in which drivers behave. Use details from both sources to write a summary of what you understand about the similar behaviour of drivers. There's the key phrase, what you understand about the similar behaviour of drivers. Not about driving generally or how they differ, but about how they drive, what it is that's similar about their driving behaviour. And it's about what you understand by it as well. And that's where the summary comes in as well, because you've got to make sense of it. You've got to interpret it and try to express this in your own way and to a point in your own words as well. Now, only 8 marks, as I mentioned, not to be sniffed at, but certainly you're not required to write a lengthy answer. Maybe, 5 to 6 key details from across the 2 texts, and certainly no more than a few paragraphs ought to do the job for you on paper 2, question 2. Secondly, given that you've got 2 sources, non-fiction sources, A and B, and as I mentioned before that they comprise something like 3 sides of A4, the reality of it is you're not going to be able to read this in the sort of detail that you might otherwise do in other questions. The trick here is, second point, is to scan read, to literally go through it relatively quickly, relatively speedily, and zero in, get your radar sort of out there and zero in just on the bits, the details, the relevant details that connect to what the question has asked you to write about, i.e. the similar drivers of behaviour, the similar behaviours of drivers. All right, so scan read them, look for what's relevant, do it reasonably speedily, but of course, you've also got to keep one eye, as ever, on accuracy in terms of the reading process. Don't overlook things, don't bring things in that aren't relevant, don't misconstrue things. Try to stay, on the ball and focused all the way through that scan reading process, which shouldn't take too long. Third step, underline what you've found, number that information, the ideas, the relevant material that we've been talking about so far. Why do you do this? In my mind, it's all about sort of helping those ideas surface and be visible for you and stand out from the rest of the passages that you've got in front of you. And as you're going through it, it ought to perhaps begin to make a little clearer in your own mind what it is you're going to need to try to say in that summary when you come to write it. Fourth step, review and organise that material now. Think carefully about it. How can you synthesise and combine ideas? I've just used that word synthesise. It's from the exam mark scheme jargon, but as I say, it simply means to combine ideas together. So think about the material, review it. How best can you assemble it so that you can synthesize or combine the ideas in such a way as to make maximum sense for your reader in your summary, your shortened version of what you've found in the text. Fifth point is, as you're writing, try to ensure that you express yourself in your own words. excuse me, alternative words and phrases are going to be useful. You may also want to consider reframing or reordering material into sentences that work for you as you try to explain your understanding. Because to go back to that question, they're asking you to write about what you understand about the similar behaviours of drivers here. So if it's what you understand, it sort of makes sense, doesn't it, that you're going to use your own expressions, your own ideas, your own words really to express yourself. Okay, I hope that's been helpful. Before we go on to the end of the video, I'd quickly like to summarise that 5-step process for you. 1, study the question and check the specifics. What's it asking you to do? 2, excuse me, read the 2 non-fiction extracts, selecting just what you need and just what's relevant. 3, underline and number the information and ideas that you've gleaned from the passages. 4thly, review and organise the material into a nice clear order. And by the way, I should add, make sure you're writing in paragraphs too. And finally, as you're writing, try to ensure that you express yourself in your own words as well. One final thing I should add, of course, try to be accurate in terms of spelling, punctuation and grammar throughout as well. Okay, I hope that's been useful. Nice and easy for you. If you want to subscribe to the channel, just click the button. You'll get notifications about when new videos are appearing and so on. It'd be great if you could do that. And if you like the video, obviously shove a like on there as well for me. I'd also just want to quickly point out, I've got 2 books available on Amazon by myself, Gordon Michael Sutton. The 2 books, one deals with the long writing question on paper 1 for the AQA GCSE English exam. The second one deals with the paper 2 question 5 writing section, which is non-fiction writing. So just to reiterate, they're by Gordon Michael Sutton. They're on Amazon. The first book's called You Write It, Creative Writing for GCSE English Language. Second one, You Write It, Non-Fiction Writing for the GCSE English exam. They're both available with free delivery on Amazon. You can also, of course, download them as ebooks. Okay, I hope that's been useful. Look forward to catching up with you soon. Stay safe, everybody. Bye for now.